Okay, I am going to, well, as usual, I've only done one of these before, but I'm going to wait a couple of minutes just to let people hop on, and we'll get. So I hope that everybody's had a good week, and that you are enjoying your Thursday, and that you're going to have a good weekend. We're getting close to the holidays, obviously, and it has been crazy busy where I work. So it's been really, really fun. And yeah, so we'll just wait a couple of minutes and see what. In the meantime, I'm just gonna hang out and let a couple people hop on. So for those of you who are watching this not live, this part's always sort of like the awkward part because it is live right now and I want people to hop on. But for those of you watching on YouTube later, this part might be a little bit just waiting for people to jump on. So I guess I'll just go ahead and get started here. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for watching. And this video is all about 5 ways to satisfy your sweet tooth during the holidays, which, as we all know, is a time that there's tons and tons of sugary, fatty foods happening all around us. And we've got to learn how to deal with it in a way that's healthy, kind of like I talked about last week. Just we got to have a plan. So I was inspired to write or to do this video because I listened to a podcast by JJ Virgin and Chalene Johnson. It was all about our sugar consumption, our overconsumption of sugar, I should say, and what that's doing to our bodies and what we don't really do to our bodies and where we realize. So I felt that it was important for me to spread this word that we've got to watch it. We've got to figure out where we're getting all this sugar that we don't even realize that we're getting, and what we can do to satisfy our cravings without overdoing sugar. So if you haven't had a chance blog post, which is what this video is all about, I would go ahead and pause this maybe and check out what I had to say there, just so that you can kind of get a background. And I put the link down below. So if you're on YouTube, you can look down and like see more like about this video, and there should be a link there to the blog post. If you already read it, then you know what this is about, and just go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned in the post, studies have been shown recently, and I felt this was really compelling. Studies have been shown recently have been done recently showing that sugar was found to be 8 times more addicting than cocaine in lab rats. They tested, like they gave these rats sugar and cocaine, and when they had the choice, the rats would go for the sugar over the cocaine. So that's pretty crazy, but actually it kind of makes sense. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched a kid consume a cake or a cupcake or a brownie or whatever, and when you see the look of ecstasy on their face, like that's pretty close to a drug high. So I'm pretty sure that sugar is a drug based on that. And we can laugh about it and haha, oh, sugar, but it's actually pretty serious. And there's plenty of harmful effects of sugar. I mean, I can't really tell you anything that you probably don't know, but I'll just kind of go over them. I mean, dental decay, like cravings to get your fix of sugar, the way that you would crave a drug, bashing and then recraving, fat storage, achiness, fatigue, inflammation in the body. And then something that I just kind of learned about was it's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And basically what happens is when you're eating sugar, like unless you've just had like a workout, if you're just eating it during the day, your liver is already full of glycogen. And so that excess fructose that you're feeding it is just getting turned to fat in your body. So sugar leads to fat storage, even though you might be eating a food that you think is like lower calorie. If they're store that way more than you're going to store something like a healthy fat or protein or, anything like that. So those are some of the harmful effects. And basically, the consensus is that sugar is hurting you. Sugar is hurting your kids. Sugar is hurting your parents. Sugar is hurting people in your life that you love, and they don't even realize it. Sugar is hurting you, and you might not even realize it. So basically, the question is, how do we stop the cycle? And I want to say that we have to be really deliberate. We have to really carefully assess what it is that we're putting into our body. And we need to read labels more carefully because, a lot of us are just so used to looking at labels for the caloric intake. We just look at how many calories. But actually, this is a really cool quote from J.J. Virgin. Our bodies are not a bank account. They're a chemistry lab, meaning that it's not just what you put out and take in. It's what it is that you're putting in and how it can be manipulated to create a certain effect within your body, not just like, oh, I put in this many calories and I need to put out this many calories to stay skinny. That's a very old school way of thought. So we need to start paying attention to what it is that we're putting in our bodies. And we need to realize that sugar is hidden everywhere. I mean, in places that you thought were safe, places that you don't think about sugar in your dressing. It's time to get really serious about it because it is causing a lot of problems in our society and in our own bodies. So I did tell you that this hangout would be all about satisfying your sweet tooth over the holidays, or healthy tips to do so. And part of that is going to actually require getting rid of your sweet tooth in the first place. So that sounds crazy, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I've learned. And so just get out a pen and paper and take some notes because I think this is going to be some really beneficial information for you. So first things first, what I'm going to be doing and what you're going to be doing, hopefully, 2 weeks prior to the holidays, because this hangout is all about keeping ourselves satisfied over the holidays. So we're going to start 2 weeks out. So I think this is the perfect time because we're just about 2 weeks out from the holidays, and we are going to reduce our sugar intake to as close to zero as possible for 2 weeks straight. And this does include natural sugars from fruit. And I'm not telling you that because sugar from fruit is bad or, anything like that. But, when you get sugar from fruit, those sugars are balanced out, by the fiber, by the vitamins and minerals and the enzymes and other properties of fruit that make it really healthy for you, but it's still sugar and it's going to keep you craving sugar. So 2 weeks before the holidays, we are going to reduce our sugar cravings to as close to zero as possible. And by reducing that for 2 weeks, basically what's going to happen is you're going to lose your sweet tooth, which I know right now in this moment, you probably don't believe me. But if you are able to do this, if you're successful in doing this, you're going to find that when you go back to eating sugar 2 weeks later, it's not going to taste the same to you. It's going to be too sweet, too processed, too much for you because you'll have reset your tolerance for sugar. And you're not going to have the same desire to eat it as you do right now. And that's going to really come in handy come holiday party time. So now, once you've done that, we've got 5 tips for easing the pain of the sweet tooth reset. Tell you that going cold turkey on this is not recommended. You're actually just going to crave and crash, and the cycle's not going to stop. So our sweet tooth, here are 5 tips: satisfied and healthy. So 1, steak. So breakfast is actually a place that so many of us, we spike our glycemic levels with donuts and bagels and muffins, which I'd be the one to tell you this, but muffins are actually just cupcakes without the frosting, unfortunately. So you're not going to go into Starbucks and get all that kind of stuff. We're going to start the day with a shake, and you're going to make it really by finding a superfood dense shake that contains a clean, lean protein source, plenty of fiber, and less than 5 grams of sugar. And I have one that I really recommend. It's called Shakeology. And if you have any questions about it, you want some more information about it, you can send me an email at coachstephs@gmail.com. So COACH Steph, STEPHS @gmail.com. And I can help you out with that. So the first thing's gonna be drink a shake for breakfast. You're gonna feel so much better all day long. And then beyond that, you're gonna start making some lateral changes when it comes to your daily choices to taper down versus quit sugar altogether. And that's just gonna make it much more bearable, especially from the carb perspective, because we get a lot of our sugars from the carbs that we eat. So if you're a carb lover, you love your noodles, you love your white potatoes, a couple of lateral shift would be, rather than white pasta, you can find a quinoa pasta. Rather than your white potatoes, you can get a sweet potato instead. And these are things to do rather than feel like you're just, restricting yourself, because having something that you can eat instead is going to give you an action. So you're not just like thinking starving or anything like that. So 3, fruit is not a free food. So we need to be it. So rather than fruit juices, which are crazy sugary and all the fiber benefits that you get from like eating real, we're gonna eat fruit that is impact. And fruits impact include things like berries, citrus fruits, peaches, and then like non-fruit fruits like tomatoes or olives. Do you know that olives are a fruit? I actually had no idea until I listened to JJ Virgin's podcast, and she said that olives are fruits. That's crazy. So things like that, those are fruits that are low sugar impact and that are going to not spike your glycemic levels the way that like higher impact fruits would. So another way, so number 4 is going to be to eat by, and this is one of JJ Virgin's tips. She has this concept of the plate, which completely makes sense. So the plate is going to keep you full, satisfied, and a lot less likely to crave sugar. So it's composed of lean protein, and particularly animal protein. So I know if you're vegetarian or vegan, you've got your own set of things that you eat instead of that. But if you do eat meat, animal proteins like fish and chicken and things like that, like that's going to be really, really helpful for you. So the plate is composed of proteins, healthy fats, and cruciferous veggies, and low impact carbs. So I'll just get really specific here. So, okay, so like we said, lean protein is going to be salmon, fish in general, chicken, things like that are going to keep you full. And then you're going to do healthy fats like avocado or some kind of nut butter, things like that. And I want to really emphasize here about fats. We have stigma in our society that we have to be really careful about eating fats. And to be honest, well, I want you to think about this. When was the last time that you heard of anybody getting off of eating avocado? Like, honestly. And what's great about healthy fats is that they keep you full longer. They really like satisfy you. I really, because I really feel like snacking. I don't feel hungry after I eat them. I'm like, good. So we've got to incorporate some of those onto the plate. Leave some veggies. I just want you to think, if it's green, it's good. Like, there's really no limit to this. Like, just eat your veggies, just eat them. And then at least carbs. So that can, like, they often contain gluten, sugar really quickly in your body. Unprocessed carbs, which they come packaged, supporting anti-aging nutrients and blood fiber. So basically, like quinoa and hummus and wild rice and black beans and lentils, like that stuff is going to keep you full. It's going to release really slowly in your body. You're going to have like long-term energy from it. So that's really, really good. So those are the four consistent of, and it's going to help you stay full so that you're not sugar. I mean, half the battle of satisfying feel full. And yeah, those are the tips. I guess that was 4. Sorry, guys, that was 4 tips. Those are my 4 tips for satisfying your sweet tooth. And I'll go back over them really quickly. So here we go. So we're going to start our day with a shake. 1 is so very helpful. We are going to lower our high sugar impact fruits, and we are going to eat by the plate. And once things and you've gotten rid of your sweet tooth, be sitting at a party craving these foods, you feel like you can, because you want to, because it's what feels better in your body. And you know, obviously you are going to be in a party situation. That my 5th tip would be to make something that is low in sugar, that is delicious, and that you can bring to the party so that you have an option for something to eat. You know, you don't situation and just feel like you have nothing to eat, you have nothing to do with your hands. You know, you want to be able to enjoy yourself, but make something and bring it instead. And I said this last week, it's really going to be the key to keeping you, you know, on track even in those tempting situations. So sorry, I was stuttering. I don't know. I was just, you know, I'm so nervous. But I really hope this helps you. I hope that your questions, your answers, what you need to be doing to lower your sugar tolerance. Send me an email to coachstephs@gmail.com to help you out and get you set up with a plan for this crazy month of parties and all kinds of stuff. So again, I hope that was helpful. And as always, please like me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/FB Schwartz. And I can't wait to see you all in my next hangout next week.